and good day. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz from eTurboNews, and this is a breaking news update. For more news updates and shows, please go to youtube.com/travel news group. youtube.com/travel news group. Here's our update.
Israel is open to vaccinated and unvaccinated tourists now. As of yesterday, March 1st, Israel will welcome all tourists, vaccinated and unvaccinated, with an ease of entry restrictions. The decision came as a result of Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, Health Minister Nitzan Horowitz and Tourism Minister, Yoel Razvazov, studying the steady decline in morbidity data and based on this information decided to open the borders to all incoming foreign travelers and ease entry requirements. Now travelers of all ages can enter the country with 2 negative PCR tests, one prior to departure and the second after landing in Israel. All entering will be required to quarantine in their hotel until they receive the result of a negative PCR or 24 hours, whichever comes first. With the announcement, Tourism Commissioner Eyal Karlan shared, "We are thrilled that the government has taken steps to fully reopen Israel to all travelers around the world. This ease in restrictions allows for more travelers to enter our country while also ensuring the health and well-being of all. Despite the country's closure over the past 2 years, we are back and better than ever and travelers can expect refurbished historical sites with increased accessibility, new hotels, new museums and more." It is important to note that while vaccinated and unvaccinated alike can freely enter Israel, upon filling out the entry statement, only vaccinated individuals will receive a green pass. Furthermore, in the case of exposure to a positive COVID case, vaccinated tourists will be exempt from needing to quarantine, whereas unvaccinated individuals will have to quarantine for 5 days. In the case of a tourist testing positive for COVID, the individual will be required to self-isolate in a COVID hotel at their own expense regardless of vaccination status. In summary, as of March 1st, the guidelines for entry include taking a PCR test 72 hours before an outbound flight, filling out a passenger declaration, and taking a PCR test upon arrival in Israel, then quarantining in a hotel until negative results are returned or 24 hours pass, whichever happens first. Then as of March 8, entry guidelines also require having health insurance that covers the costs of medical treatment of COVID. This is standard in most travel insurances now, but it is the traveler's responsibility to verify this prior to departure.
Thank you for listening to our news update. There's more on youtube.com/travel news group, or you can read us, of course, in going to our news portal at eTurboNews.com or travelnews.online.